This is TWiT.
Adobe Flash cannot die soon enough. Once again, a actively exploited in the wild 0-day had come to life. They announced an emergency patch last Thursday. I don't know. It's like, in other words, when malware, of Flash, you would have to say when malware has a large reputable publisher. I mean, that's what this is. This is just ridiculous. Okay, so Adobe's own summary for this update said, Adobe has released security updates for Adobe Flash Player for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Chrome. Even Chrome's built-in Flash Player was vulnerable. These updates address critical vulnerabilities in Adobe Flash Player 29.0.0.171 and earlier. Successful exploitation could lead to arbitrary code execution in the context of the current user. Adobe is aware, they write, of a report that an exploit for, and then there's a vulnerability for their Flash Player 2018-5002 exists in the wild and is being used in limited targeted attacks against Windows users. These attacks leverage Office documents with embedded malicious Flash Player content distributed via email. In some of the coverage of this, Leo, I saw some observers saying, well, browsers have hardened themselves proactively against Flash, so now the miscreants have figured out another way to leverage the continuing existence of Flash, even though browsers won't use it any longer, but it's still present in people's systems in order to exploit them. And look at this exploitation path. I have the picture here in the show notes. It's like, yikes. The user opens a weaponized Office document which contains a Flash ActiveX embedded object that reaches out to a remote server to obtain a Flash exploit, which is retrieved using public key crypto and then executed, which decrypts itself, and then in step 7 uses an exploit in Flash, loader load bytes, to load and trigger the exploit, which then reaches out again to the same server to download shell code, which it's then able to execute on the user's system. So remind me again why it is exactly we're waiting until 2020, the end of 2020 through 2020, to finally be rid of this internet menace called Flash. I mean, we have routers infected, 500,000 routers infected with self-destructing firmware ready to be triggered on word from Moscow. Yet, how difficult could it possibly be for Adobe to push out just one last update to self-destruct all remaining instances of Flash in the wild and make everyone safer? It's just like, my goodness, it's only now being used by websites that still want to use it to display video. Yet we've seen that this slow end of lifing doesn't work on the internet. We've covered multiple instances where Chrome, it's only by refusing to allow things to run any longer that people, and creating well-published deadlines, that people have been forced to move away from technology that, it's working, so let's not change anything, except its presence there is hurting everyone. So anyway, I just had to rant again on this another occasion of a 0 day being exploited of Flash by virtue of the fact that it still exists in people's machines, and what Adobe is going to have to do to be responsible. I mean, I guess we're going to have to wait till the end of 2020, but they need to have it self-destruct. If they're saying we're going to no longer support it, then please, Adobe, kill it. Shoot it in the head. Just end of Flash. Goodbye. That's what we need.